Great.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to ODL's. I think this is like the summer split finals. So that's what's happening here for the gold split. My name is Ryan. I am here casting with Rawr. I am your replacement for Rafa. Fortunately, he had to leave due to personal reasons, but now I'm here. You're gonna have to deal with my poor casting, but hey, that's all right. Let's jump into it.
All right. So we're starting to see everybody going up here. Anarchy with their backs to the walls. They're currently 0-2 with Rawr sitting pretty at 2-0 in this series. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Anarchy is able to show their fangs here and really bring themselves back into this series, or whether or not Rawr shows their slow, methodical way of eking out advantages and just running them over in the later periods of the game, as they've been doing in these past two games.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Rawr totally has potential to make it a clean 3-0 sweep to take them the prize home from themselves. But I am always for the underdogs. You know, if Anarchy wants to go for that reverse sweep, like, let's do it. Let's show, like, the strength. Like, they can come back. They can do whatever, but, all right, and we do have, just to let everyone know, slight technical difficulties with the pick ban, but we will get that system running smoothly. You know, this the pick ban system that ODL has introduced, Kaiser and I believe Flash. It's an amazing system. Doesn't ever look beautiful, but with it being such like a program that's kind of like we're still working on it, still trying to perfect it. You know, technical difficulties there. They're expected, but I think we are kind of, it's going now. Yeah, it's working now. We have Yasuo, Echo, and Nidalee banned away for Rawr, and on the side of Anarchy we see Mundo, Vigar, and I am not wearing my glasses. Let me make that bigger. That's a Kled. That is a Kled. All right.
Everybody's favorite angry Yordle.
Yep. The memer, the Yordle memer. That I you know. Go ahead.
Okay. So for the side of Rawr's bans, we're seeing their standard bans that we've been seeing. The Yasuo Echo. They don't want to see Duck Solo on those champions at all. He just has too much carry potential if he manages to get onto these heavy, high damage dealers. Meanwhile, the Nidalee banned out for Viper Fang. He seems to favor that one a lot. We saw it banned out last game when they swapped over to Viper Fang, and now we're seeing it banned this game. Meanwhile, Anarchy seems to be tailoring their bans this time. They really want to hammer home that they're not out of this fight. They got the Mundo gone, which we saw Spoder doing phenomenal on after having such a huge setback. The Veigar, they remember from the first game, he had the highest damage dealt. He was a big nuisance for them. He's gone out of the game. The Kled still banned out after seeing him in the first game. Just too much engage, too much damage, too much tankiness, too much tower aggro juggling coming out of that champion. So they want him gone.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely Anarchy looking to tailor their bans and trying to figure out a better strategy for them into the pick ban to see if they can go ahead and at least try to pick up a win in this series. And as I stated before, potentially go for that reverse sweep. But Rawr opting for, I mean, hey, you know what? It's worked for them. They've won 2 games with their pick bans, and like, why change it up? You know, get those comfort picks away from Anarchy. And they're able to kind of tailor their composition towards that.
Yeah, but now that being said, the strategy we're seeing forming up on these team compositions for the side of Rawr first, we've got Tristana, Jarvan, and Thresh. We're seeing this heavy team fight comp-wise strategy coming out that they've been doing for 2 games so far. Now they're doing it again. They have the strong engage with the Jarvan. They have good engage by the Thresh, but the Thresh also has great peel, great overall CC. Jarvan brings some attack speed boosting in his flag. And just all in all, we're seeing the same strategy that Rawr has been going for in the previous games. However, with this Jarvan, he can transition into more of an assassin instead of the tanky team fighter that we're used to seeing. Or actually, nowadays, we're used to seeing him as that assassin, where he just EQs ultimates and immediately combo bursts people. However, on the side of Anarchy, we're seeing them going for more of a team fight as opposed to their high damage that they were going for before. They have Alistar. Now, to be fair, they had Braum before, so their support is still a strong team fighter. But now we have Ezreal. He's a very slippery AD carry. He also has his attack speed boosting for his team that he's able to give. And even if he's across map, he's still able to apply a bit of damage with his ultimate. And then we have the Akali. Now, the Akali showed in game 1, she showed that she was able to be very oppressive in the mid lane. She wasn't able to transfer that to the rest of the team, but Duck Solo still showing that he knows Akali, he knows what she's capable of, and he's hoping to just dumpster whatever mid laner that they end up picking and keeping him so far behind that his Akali is able to make up the difference.
Yeah, definitely. I would say 2 really strong compositions going out here as we see the final pick going throughout here, or is it all done? There we go. It's the Poppy. Yeah. Yeah, definitely a good team fighting composition going down for Anarchy. Obviously, Kindred being a very strong jungler these last couple patches, kind of going from one of the weaker, more kind of shoved aside junglers to now becoming kind of a powerhouse and taking the meta for her own. So I can definitely get behind that the Kindred pick and the composition that Anarchy has going for themselves here. And then, as you stated before, Jarvan is always a fantastic kind of reliable pick, as he's able to flex either jungle or top lane. Although he is more desirable in the jungle, but he can also flex, how he's built. The more kind of common assassin build you see nowadays, or he can go bruiser, tank, anything.
Fighter, bruiser, tank, assassin, he's got it all. He's the full deck.
Yeah, definitely. So Jarvan, a totally respectable pick here, and I think both compositions are very, very strong in their own ways. But with that, I just kind of want to get some predictions going. That's what I like to do. What do you think? Just seeing from the team compositions and like how these 2 teams played the last 2 games, how do you think this game's going to go? Do you think it's going to be a 3-0 for Rawr? Do you think Anarchy's going to start a potential comeback run? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, you see, for the side of Rawr, they've rounded out their team comp with a Rumble and an Azir. Now, just looking at their team, they have a really good mix of damage. They have Tristana, Jarvan bringing out the physical damage. They have Rumble, Azir bringing out the magic damage. It makes them very difficult to itemize against, because if it's popping off, you need that armor. But if even one of the AP side starts popping off, you need that MR. And so their tanks on the side of Anarchy have difficulty itemizing against that because they bring such a good mix of damage. Meanwhile, on the side of Anarchy, you have a semi sort of mix of damage. You have a Kindred, Ezreal, both are physical, but the Ezreal also brings a slight mix of magic damage. His ultimate is magic damage. His, I think it's his W or his E is magic damage. The one that increases attack speed when he hits his allies with is magic damage. Akali is a mix of damage. She's a hybrid champion. She's building Gunblade. She's building these items that give her AD and AP, and she can even specialize in one or the other if things start going where the enemy is building more magic resist to armor, or they're building more armor to magic resist. So she's somewhat flexible in that as well. And Poppy brings great base damage to this game, but all in all, you're seeing a much more physical oriented Anarchy with some magic thrown into the mix, unless Akali builds like or focuses on her magic damage build instead of a more hybridy.
Yeah.
As for straight up team comp, I want to give advantage over to the side of Anarchy. They have the Poppy, who is a great tank. She has great peeling. She has the ability to disengage the enemy. She has the ability to split up the enemy, which is a huge team fight changer. If she gets a ult off on like 2, 3 people, or even just just one of their damage dealers, throwing them so far away from the team fight, and then they can clean up the rest. Meanwhile, you have the Kindred. She's able to stop their one-shot potential, but they're not bringing a whole lot of one-shot potential. They're bringing a lot of damage, sustain, which is still good with a Kindred ultimate, right? Just being able to deny those kills. And then you have Ezreal, super slippery. Even if Jarvan tries to ultimate him, he can actually dodge that damage by fluxing out of there.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to say also the side of the Rawr, they also have a very good in and out composition with like Azir, Tristana, J4, and the Thresh Lantern. Like it can get Rawr out of a lot of sticky situations, while on the side of Anarchy they have that kind of Kindred as the backup. But we are going to see the first blood dropping onto Shijaru. Very good pickup by her. That Kindred trying to go for that mark, I believe that was. Yeah, it was the mark, and not working out.
So Rawr saw this coming from a mile away. The bottom lane pushed into past the river, so they knew that Anarchy could not respond without taking an extremely long roundabout route. And Thresh was there on Viper before Viper had taken the scuttle. They saw on the minimap that the mark had spawned there. Both sides get to see where the mark spawns, so they knew Kindred was likely over there. So Thresh just walks up over there, sees Viper is trying to take it, and then they just collapse after Viper hard commits. So Tristana comes up, and Jarvan just goes over as well, and they manage to pick it up.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of one of the major disadvantages of Kindred is, very easy to predict where you're going to be on the map just based on like where your marks are. Because, Kindred, you want to hover around those marks and get your power spike. But if that's denied from you, then like, I hate to say it, but you're kind of not a champion anymore.
Yeah. And the kill goes on to Chajiru. Now, she has shown that she's a very strong carry. She's able to get the damage off where she needs to. She's able to focus on her positioning in these team fights later on. And having that blue buff means that she can throw out harass wherever, whenever she wants to now. She's going to be throwing bombs onto people's faces left, right, and center. It might have been better to have seen the blue buff go on to Thresh, just because the cooldown reduction and the mana would have allowed him to throw out his death sentence Qs, I think they're called, just left, right, and center, and those could have equaled more potential kills in the bottom lane.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, it's always good and nice to get that first blood onto your ADC because, given that advantage onto the AC is like fantastic. But I can totally agree with you. Having the blue buff on the Thresh just allows for so much harass and so much farm denial that it would really put Super Duck and Bangladesh Driver into a bit of a pickle. But alas, it is on to the go. But we do see a flash engage onto Bangladesh Driver trying to pick up Nezumi as Viper Fang is in the bot lane trying to make something happen, but it's looking like nothing's going to come of it. Shazru able to walk away. I mean, damage going on to her, but no. Will she be actually able to turn it? Viper Fang managing to tank a tower shot. Shazru picks up a kill, flashes out, ignite onto her, but she's still in there, going to be taking damage. Hitting Bangladesh Driver, but Super Duck, shift rushing there in Sutter. Finding himself really low, but Thresh chasing down, Lantern drop, Shezru trying to do what she can. Can she pick up the 2? No, it's so close, but hey, you know what? You can't complain. That is a second kill onto their Sauna after a tragic gank attempt onto Viper Fang, tanking that tower shot.
It was a decent attempt, but after that Thresh had flashed and the Alistar's stun auto attack left, there wasn't so much possibility of hard committing there, and you essentially just walked under tower, took I think 2 shots, and you walked away with your life, but then Tristana jumps in and rips it from you.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate, but that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely a solid attempt coming out from Viper Fang, obviously, like wanting to get his bot lane ahead, get Super Duck going, kind of snowballing as Ezreal likes to do. But unfortunately, some tragic misplays happen. You know, nothing can be perfect. But ultimately leading to another kill onto Sharu, and she is definitely getting a nice lead onto herself. And hey, maybe we'll see a Tristana popping off this game, as I love to see myself personally.
Well, we say that, but over up in the top lane, we're seeing Poppy just going toe-to-toe with this Rumble. She's actually got a decent-sized CS lead on top of him. And it's just really showing that Poppy is not a force to be trifled with, even if you have like ranged advantage or long range poke, or even you're a lane bully. She's just so tanky. She does percent health damage. She's not really something you want to face tank.
Oh no, definitely. Poppy is one of those champs that is kind of a pain to play against, and overall just strong in every kind of stage of the game, because you know, able to, as we see, stand toe to toe with a Rumble right now, and then ultimately be useful in the team fighting. And there we go. That's what Poppy likes to do best, completely denying that J4. And then here we go. We see a bit of a scrap going on in the mid lane. Heartseeker Santa managing to fall to Duck solo, picking himself up a kill onto the Akali. But woo, that I want to go back to that Poppy disengage.
I didn't know could happen. So they answered the gank top lane beautifully. Poppy managing to stop Jarvan from going in. Rumble's ultimate did not manage to catch the Poppy well enough that she was slowed and taking so much damage. And they answered it by ganking the Azir mid lane. And despite Azir's wall going down and putting it on the right side where he kept them from really going over, Akali apparently can ignore Azir's wall mechanic, where he doesn't let people jump over it unless they use like a blink ability. Her jump ignores that interaction and allowed her to jump over it back into Azir's face.
If I'm not wrong, I mean, I myself was an Akali player for a couple of seasons, and I know for the longest time, an old Akali, that Azir's ultimate did deny Akali's old ult. And a while back, they changed that so that Azir's ultimate would no longer block Akali's ult. So I wonder if that transferred over into Akali's new, I believe it's her E. I have not played new Akali yet. But we do see a good hook onto Bang Bus Driver. He is going to take a lot of damage. J4 ulting just to kind of secure the kill there. And Shizaru picking herself up a third kill.
Oof, this is when you see a late game hyper carry taking over. She's ramping up her damage really quickly, and we're seeing this translate into a win Drake here. It's not going to mean much for the entirety of the team, but the Jarvan will get to other lanes faster. It makes his ganks a bit better. But the Chajiru, she has 3 kills and like almost 30 CS lead. She has about a 1.4k gold lead on the Ezreal at 10 minutes into the game. This is a huge lead. This is essentially a BF sword worth of gold difference between the two, and she hasn't even spent 1,700 of it yet. So she's going to be pushing in this wave, getting it to crash under tower, and then immediately backing and putting that gold onto the map. Or she's just gonna go for some harass under tower.
Hey, you know, why not go for that that extra tower damage, kind of deny that Ezreal and Alshar of more gold. You know, you have the lead, you're able to afford to do stuff, and like obviously you just got to kind of be aware of where the junglers are on the map to do that. But hey, it's working out. Shizaru
Ward spotting out Viper.
Yeah, Shizaru, who is like Tristana being that late game hyper carry, is looking to be able to take over the mid game for herself any second now. But as we see in the top lane there, Poppy's still very comfortably harassing that Rumble.
Oh yeah, and she's managed to eke out a roughly 15 CS lead right now. She has a 300 gold lead on the Rumble. It's not going to translate into too much. She doesn't. There is
here we go.
Potential collapse here in the top side.
We do have a fight going on in the bot lane, having to force Alistar's flash up, but here we go, collapse in the jungle, Rumble finding himself really low, Viper Fang managing to pick up a hill, but Heartseeker Senna is in here as well, ultimate going down by the Kindred, and Great Jace finding himself super low, blued it though, managing to, Ignite ticking down, he falls to the wolves of everything, Heartseeker Senna managing to flash out, but there we go, that is a 2-for-1 on the side of Anarchy. Bot lane here though, kind of using that to try to push up this tower and take what they can. But I would say fantastic fight on the side of Anarchy there.
Oh yes. So we saw that huge damage coming down for the side of Rawr, but the Kindred ultimate saving Viper and Great Jace from death for a good long period of time while they're pounding away at the near full HP Azir and Jarvan, who were still in the fight. The Jarvan, unfortunately, your Cinder Hulk still counted you as in combat for that period of time, so the burn did apply to the jungle camp, which I think he might have lived the ignite damage, but the wolves came over and just bit his face off.
Yeah, he definitely would have lived the ignite damage. Unfortunately, Cinder Hulk said, you are not allowed to have your life here. Tragic for Blued It, but, you know, League of Legends is cruel sometimes, that's all we can say.
And that's the thing with Balmy Cinder, you're always burning, but with Cinder Hulk, you're only burning jungle camps if you're in combat. So it was really just because he was so fresh out of that fight that the wolves had aggroed onto him.
Mm-hmm.
No, now we're seeing everybody sort of reset and go back to their lanes and farm up, but we did see a first tower going down in the bottom lane. Just that sheer domination coming out of Chajiru. She is up about 40 CS over her opponent, still has that 3-kill lead, and she's now a full 2,000 over the Ezreal. And when you're seeing that on a Tristana, it doesn't get much scarier than that.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, as I stated before, Tristana's kind of known for that late game kind of hyper carry champion. But if you get kills on her early on, I mean, she can definitely be also a mid-game monster. And that is looking like it is probably going to be the case for Shizaru. You know, obviously, as we said, with that gold lead she has over top. But here we go. Poppy trying to get that disengage off, but only ultimate hitting one. Jay stunned on his own wall. Oh, no, that's hard to watch. But now we have a fight going here on the bot lane. Thresh finding himself really go. But a fantastic play to disengage off that Akali Spider-Horn with the Ignite, having to drop a Heartseeker Shanna. Managing to pick up Fang Blast Driver, but the Poppy's still falling despite the top lane getting that nasty stun on the Jarvan on his own wall. That sucks.
Yeah, but
that is
Jarvan managed to stop the displacement from the Poppy. He became undisplaceable because of his own ultimate. So despite being stunned after his ultimate on his own wall, he managed to not get thrown away and really kept the Poppy in position so that Chajiru could come up and just take the kill.
Yeah, definitely. And we are going to see what looks to be another tower falling to the hands of Chajiru, extending the gold lead of hers. Going to become an absolute monster pretty soon. And but the red team kind of answering that by dropping the Rift Herald down. Bot side, Viper Fang, you know, he's a little low here. But it doesn't look like Spider-Horn wants to do. He's going to take it safe, get that Rift Herald down. Viper Fang being a bit of a pain trying to poke it off. But does Rift Herald even get the tower here? No.
No. That's unfortunate.
Yep.
Bad man. Oof. A solid attempt by Viper to try and take the tower, but you're just below a half HP, and you're facing a Rumble who can harass you from a range. I don't think you're getting that tower 9 times to Sunday.
Yeah. But we do see good poke from the Azir going on to that Poppy there. Azir able to poke from afar. We are going to see kind of them group up mid lane, but here we go. Spider-Juan and Nezumi onto Viper Fang. Ult forced to drop down, but there's not much he can do. Just trying to kite Spider-Juan out, but no. Getting pretty close. Very solid attempt by Viper Fang, but falling once again. Rumble managing to pick himself up a kill.
Yeah, she managed to get into a position where she was collapsed on by Thresh. Rumble was still there, and even a third person was walking up, though it wasn't needed to try and kill her. She tried to get as much damage done as possible, nearly killed the Rumble, but it was just too risky of a play. But sometimes when you're behind, you have to go for these risk-reward plays, trying to get that reward despite the risk. Now, we're seeing roughly a 5k-ish gold lead on the side of Rawr, and if we swap over to the gold values, like 3k of that nearly is on the Tristana alone. She's accounting for quite a bit of gold here. As for everybody else, we're seeing a 400 gold lead for the Rumble, just being a part of kills, despite and evening up the CS difference, probably from picking up that huge wave in the bottom side after stopping Shelly from taking the tower.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like Rawr, definitely they're picking himself up a nice gold lead here at the beginning on, but a good hook on Nezumi onto Viper Fang. Oh no, I mean, Bang Bus Driver doing what he can to stop it, but no, the Cataclysm falling onto Viper Fang. He's gonna fall, and now Heartseeker Santa is here, gonna try and do what they can. Ignite dropping on the Bang Bus Driver. He is gonna die any second now. There he goes. Now the Thresh gonna back off, walk away from the other 3 remaining teammates on the side of Anarchy, and a good clean 2 kills for them. That Thresh, woo, he is working.
Nezumi is just being dominating, showing that he knows where people are, positioning in such a way. He lands those hooks, and even though Jarvan didn't take the lantern because he EQ'd in, Nezumi had thrown the lantern to the Jarvan to blue it, and just helping out where he can. And we're seeing this translate into another dragon. This is a mountain drake. That's going to help Tristana take towers that much faster. Helps Jarvan take towers. And even Azir, he gets more attack speed the more soldiers he has out. So having that mountain drake just deals more damage to objectives. He'll be able to absolutely melt Baron when it comes up in the next minute. We're going to see Tristana, Jarvan, and Azir just pounding away at Baron so incredibly fast, just because of one Mountain Drake. And they could have probably taken it fast even without it.
Oh, definitely. No, that Mountain Drake's going to be really, really nice. And if I go ahead and look, it is a second Mountain Drake coming up when the time comes. So if Rawr managed to pick that up from themselves, their objective control is just going to be like uncontested.
So here's the hard itemization I was talking about. If we're looking at just Poppy's build, right? She has the adaptive helm build, and she has the Ninja Tabi for Great Jace, and he's building even more armor. And this is the hard damage that we're dealing with. The Azir is dealing a lot of damage. He wasn't shut down. He's currently 3-1. He's got 20 more CS than the Akali. And then you have Chajiru on Tristana. She's 4-0. She has 70 CS. Almost 80. No, she has 80 CS on the Ezreal now.
Yeah, and here we go. We are going to see a bit of a fight dropping for us. Sorry to interrupt you there, but Nezumi finding himself caught out, but able to transfer that to bring the rest of his team here and pick up the kill onto Bang Bus Driver. That's going to be a lot of pressure onto this mid lane tower. Hits another hook onto the Poppy. That is huge. He is a absolute monster right now with these hooks.
Just the unsung hero of all these damage dealers is actually the support carrying the team.
Yeah.
Let's just put that out there.
No, Nezumi is playing like an absolute champion right now. He wants to take that clean 3-0, and he is showing that he deserves it. And there we go. Another good play.
That's cheeky.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the Flay just completely taking that Poppy off, saying, no, you're not getting on me.
Yeah. So now we're seeing outside of Rawr, just look at the map. Look at all those wards that Rawr has onto the map. They have 4 pink wards. Like, just wow. And then when it comes to turret control, they've managed to take 4 towers out of Anarchy. They haven't lost one. Anarchy had Rift Herald, and they didn't manage to secure a tower from it. And we're seeing this just show up all over the place when it comes to the gold value. We've almost got a 10. We've got roughly a 7k gold lead at 21 minutes into the game. This is a huge lead for the side of Rawr. Rawr is just sinking their fangs in. They knew they had them cornered. They didn't care that they're starting to bare their fangs. They're taking this slow, methodical approach to this game and essentially playing with their food at this point.
Super Duck 007, he's looking like he's having a bit of a tough game himself. I mean, he is sitting at 0 KP right now and is on the verge of being Flame Horizon by Shijaru, which obviously as an ADC, you never want that to happen. It feels bad, but it's looking like it's probably going to be inevitable in any second now.
Here's the Baron call.
But yeah, here we go. They are starting up the Baron here. So will we see Anarchy trying to contest it? I don't even think they know that they're on it. No, they have 0 clue. With the Tristana and the Mountain Drake, this Baron is just going to melt. There it is. No contestation. They had 0 idea that they were on the Baron there because of the just lack of vision control that they have.
Despite not being really tanky enough to sort of sit and take that Baron damage, they just had so much damage.
And there we go. Another really good engage from Nezumi onto Bang Bus Driver. He is going to follow the hands of the person who started the fight. And Anarchy are going to shove up this mid lane with the Baron buff. Or not Anarchy, Rawr. And Anarchy are just going to kind of have to sit back and let it happen. Let this inhib fall because there is no way they're contesting this. The absolute power on Rawr right now is insane. Nezumi, he does not care. He is going to sit there and face tank that Kindred. Kindred all dropping down, though, and the Jarvan in a bit of a pickle. He is going to fall to Duck solo.
That was that Poppy disengaged with her ultimate. She managed to throw the entire team outside of Jarvan away, and they just kept Jarvan under the tower.
Yep. Yeah, Bluta definitely biting a little bit more than he can chew, kind of forcing Rawr to back off now. They're not going to be able to take as much as I possibly believe that they could. But hey, you know what? An inhib, that's still, like, pretty good.
And look at that bottom tower. Literally a sliver of HP. It's got 73 HP, and Rumble shows up to stop the minions from taking it. They don't want to give any sort of advantage to the side of Anarchy. And Anarchy is trying their hardest to eke out any sort of advantage. We're seeing Poppy not give up. They managed to pick up the Jarvan, but it's going to be a long slog. They're going to have to farm up. They're going to have to scale, but how do you scale when you're dealing with an Azir and a Tristana, who are some of the hardest scalers in the game? You're going to have to hope that Kindred...
Oh, no. There we go. Shijaru managing to pick herself up a kill, and then the rest of the team is there to back him up. Duck solo and Bang Bus Driver just getting absolutely melted. That damage, that Tristana is huge. 5-0, Duck solo managing to fall for the first death. Nezumi almost getting a nice hook there, but I truly believe with just the Ezreal with 1 KP and the Poppy, there's not much they're going to be able to do to defend this. Rawr is going to take as much as they possibly want here. And, oh my god, Nezumi with another insane hook, completely denying that Ezreal walk into the base. Poppy with a good ult there, but not hitting the Azir, the target that you needed to hit. And there we go. That's going to be the Nexus Tower falling, and quite possibly the game here. Duck solo is alive, going to see if he can do what he can. Viper Fang managing to pick up Shijaru. Blued it, find himself getting really low, but no, managing to pick up the kill. Duck solo transferring that there, but Bang Bus Driver finding himself really, really low. Duck solo do what he can. The Akali playing the Shroud game, but no, Spider Juan saying, I'm just going to completely zone you away, and they are just going to auto that Nexus as much as they can. That is the game going over to Rawr, taking the series 3-0. Please don't make me eat my words too soon. They're doing it super slow, but no, that is the Nexus gone. GG to Rawr, taking the gold finals 3-0.
A dominating display by Rawr and really showing that they deserve this win. This they are the champions of the Gold League ODL now.
Yeah.
They didn't even lose a single tower that game.
No, that was a near perfect performance coming out from them. Playing, as he said, kind of the slow game. They knew they didn't have to rush anything and completely just wiping out Anarchy.
Wow. What do you say at that point when you see
Yeah.
such a dominating performance? Um, Despite Poppy going toe to toe with Rumble in the top lane, Akali managing to stay relatively even with Azir. Once they started, the Tristana Chajiru, she just ran away with the game in the bottom lane. Jarvan managing to find a few ganks here and there, getting Chajiru even more fed. But then once team fights started, Nezumi really showing he's able to pick out people with his Q, really able to control people, stopping Poppy from dashing in. Chajiru's damage just popping off. Azir getting even more damage out there. Jarvan raising people's attack speed. And they controlled the neutral objectives. They went for an early Baron. The enemy Anarchy had no idea they would even do it, and it was just a snowball. Not a fast snowball, despite the early game. It only went 25 minutes, but it was a very methodical snowball.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. I mean, I really can't call the MVP of the series because unfortunately, I only got to cast one game. But I do believe you're here for the majority of the season. Who would you say was the MVP of this series here?
MVP of the whole series. I want to. It's hard to put it on one person. You
Yeah,
know, I, if I could give it to two people, it would be the bottom lane, bar none. Chajiru and Nezumi just going super hard, consistently every single game. But if I were to give the overall MVP, I really want to give it to, honestly, Nezumi. Nezumi got them fights that they wouldn't have been able to take sometimes. And Nezumi also managed to just really control team fights consistently. Game one, game two, game three. Nezumi was there all the time, controlling people, initiating things, saving his team members, keeping his carries alive, and just not allowing the enemy team to do too much.
Yeah, no, definitely. I 100% agree with you. Just seeing the absolute dominance in Nezumi's performance on Thresh Game 3. I mean, this man is obviously someone you have to respect. He is a monster support and just playing out of his mind, or maybe just playing normally. But definitely, he takes my MVP for Game 3, and unfortunately, Game 3 for me is the entire series. But he will also take my MVP.
All right.
Yeah, but I think on that note, I would like to thank Anarchy for definitely, obviously making a good playoff run, making it to the finals, but a huge shout out to Rawr, managing to take the series 3-0, playing like absolute beasts. My name is Ryan, and I was here casting with the amazing color caster, Riley. I think that's it. Any last things to say, or are we...
No, man, I'm just super happy I was able to experience all this, and
Yeah.
it was a good game, a real performance put out by Anarchy to try and bring everything back. Game one, it was really close. Game two, they tried super hard. Game three, I'm sorry, but Rawr they really put forth why they deserve to be the ODL Gold League champions.
All right, I do got to say this, though. There are people asking for interviews. It is up to the streamers if they want to go through with interviews. Yeah, all right, we're going to jump into one of the ODL chats. We'll get the interview that you guys want. Don't you worry. We'll meet you in ODL on stream viewing. Just give me a second. Yeah. Oh.
This is Yazumi, one person.
Nazumi. All right, everybody. We are here with Nazumi, the obvious MVP of the series. How do you feel about that game? You know, obviously taking the series 3-0, you guys are super dominant. You know, how do you feel your run was? Obviously, this split. How do you take it? What went through your team's mind? Obviously, being completely dominant. You know, obviously as the support. You know, how did you feel about your team? How did you like your run this split? What went right?
I'm not Yazumi.
Wrong Nazumi. All right, that's actually hilarious. Okay, get this faker out of here, man.
Oof.
Nah,
All right. Same question, Nazumi. I know you weren't here, but same question.
yeah, how do you feel this split went for you as Rawr and over? You were granted the MVP of the final series. You know, what do you feel went right with your team? Why were you able to just take that series so easily and obviously just win this split for yourselves?
Oof. Well, to answer your question my own way, because I kind of forgot half of it, but basically, I think I value my team's ability to figure out what we did wrong and figure out how to fix it on the dime immediately. That's how we win games. We see a mistake, we fix it immediately, and we turn it around. And I think we did that throughout the whole series, and just showed how strong we are as S5.
Now, we saw you get Thresh, I think, all 3 games.
Ooh, I'm very glad you brought this up. Okay, sorry to cut you off, but I am ashamed. I'm ashamed that they did not ban my Thresh or pick it from me. That hurts me to my core.
Do you think that's just them disrespecting it, or do you think that's them underestimating you?
I think it's disrespecting, because to my knowledge and probably to my selective memory, I have never had a bad Thresh game in ODL. Most of, if not all, my Thresh games I've played, I've done extremely well, and I feel like he is arguably my best champion, my signature champion. So
now
to
I am seeing that you did play Alistar in the second game, not Thresh.
Oh yeah, I should have worded it better, but I say that I got Thresh all 3 games because they didn't ban it either in that game, but I was able to pick it the other 2 as well.
So supporting Chajiru, what's your opinion of that?
Oof. Okay. That's a good question. So this was my first season, my first full-time season where I got to support Chajiru, and it's not something it was not something I was used to. It's something I had to grow accustomed to. But I think our styles of play just meshed really well together because I'm more the cool analytical type. I figure out what needs to be done, how we do it, and Chajiru's kind of just the wild one. She goes in for plays and looks for like kills anywhere, and I just kind of follow in and tell her when to go, when to not go, and I think it just bounce off of each other really well.
All right. Well, I mean, obviously, Rawr being completely dominant in this series, you know, I want to give you this chance. I mean, you were the MVP. Your team won ODL Gold Split. Like, I want to give you this opportunity to, you know, be cocky. Say how you feel. How does it feel to be a winner? You know, just go ham.
Okay, be cocky. Ooh, that's my favorite thing to do. But mainly, I don't know if I can. I feel like this entire season I've had nothing but obstacles that I had to get over. Every team I've gone against has been a new obstacle. Bluebird, Anarchy, Mammoth, everybody. Every team, like, massive shout outs to them for making me push myself and play better than I ever have before.
All right, the humble answer. I completely respect that.
But
But all right,
Oh.
keep going.
But
Spicy.
but I am glad that I got to crush some people with my thresh. So that's always
All
fun.
right, there we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if I could ask one more question, yeah.
Mhm.
For the side of Anarchy, right? What were you guys sort of focused on? Like, who was scary to you? Who were you trying to keep down?
Ooh, okay. So our initial game plan to beat Anarchy was beat Duck solo. We figured that if we could beat Duck solo and to an extent beat Great Jace, their top laner, then we could easily win this game. So that was our initial game set to go into game one doing that. We didn't know what else we wanted to do. We figured if we could do this, we win. Turns out Duck solo was not. He wasn't. I felt like he wasn't himself today. He didn't show that 1v9 or 1v9 potential that he typically does that I respect him for. And in the bot lane, when I got threshed the first game, I just performed exceptionally well, I felt, and I was able to build our own lead there and win through that. So it kind of turned towards the end of the series. There wasn't a major threat per se, more of just we're trying to make sure that we get ourselves even further ahead than we were before.
All right. Well, I do have to say congratulations to you. Congratulations to the rest of Rawr. And I think, I don't know, unless we have so many more questions to say or to ask, we'll probably have to close everything out now.
I
But
can think of two more questions if you'll let me.
yeah, go for it, man.
Awesome. So, outside of you, right?
Mhm.
Who do you think is your MVP of your team?
Ooh, my MVP. Huh. I think most supports would probably just immediately say their AD carry, and I want to as well. I feel like I should have that loyalty to say my AD carry, but admittedly, I will 100% give it to my top laner, Spotter Juan. He he's like kind of like the father of the team. He's always vocal, he's always active. He knows his mistakes and he keeps us banded together like glue almost. Um, but that does not detract from how awesome the rest of my team is. Jungler, Remzi, mid laner, Heartshaker, Shauna, everyone does their role perfectly, and that's just what makes us really good.
All right, and then last question for me is who on the enemy team did you like really respect? Like essentially your MVP of the enemy team.
Oof. Is that opportunity to be cocky still available?
I mean, yes, but you know.
Okay, well, to be honest, I think I've said this, but Duck Solo definitely I see him as the best mid laner in ODL right now. He's proven to be super good, and even when we were doing well against him in these games, he still was able to pick kills and like play well. So he's easily the person who I respect the most on Anarchy. But also, I give every support player who I play against or play with mad respect. So shout out to Bang Bus, but he did let me down. And
Ooh.
that's as much as I can say.
Ooh. Well, we're certainly excited that Rawr managed to take the championship of the Gold League, and we're hoping to see you guys again next split, putting forth a strong showing.
Yeah, definitely.
hmm I think all of our fans and everyone in ODL has a lot of things that they can look forward to from Rawr as a whole.
Well, there it is. I am personally going to be looking forward to what is the future for Rawr. But yeah, no, thank you for the time. Once again, as I've said many times, congratulations. Obviously, you played like an absolute monster, and I believe that you and the rest of Rawr deserves that clean 3-0 win. But yeah, thank you for coming along for the interview. Good luck in
problem.
your future endeavors. And I think that's us. That's it for us on the stream side.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for having me and giving me this MVP.
Hey, no problem, man. Bot lane trying to make something happen, but it's looking like nothing's going to come of it. Shazru able to walk away. I mean, damage going on to her, but no.
Oh, no.
Will she be actually able to turn it? Viper Fang managing to tank a tower shot. Shazru picks up a kill, flashes out, ignite onto her, but she's still in there, going to be taking damage. hitting Bang Bus Driver, but Super Duck, you know, or shift rushing Flare in. Sutter finding himself really low, but Thresh chasing down. Lantern drop. Shezru trying to do what she can. Can't she pick up the 2? No!
There
Here we go.
Potential collapse here in the top side.
We do have a fight going on the bot lane, having to force Alistar's flash up, but here we go. Collapse in the jungle. Rumble finding himself really low. Viper Fang managing to pick up a hill, but Heartseeker Senna is in here as well. Ultimate going down by the Kindred, and Great Jace finding himself super low. Blued it though, managing to Ignite ticking down. Need to sit back and let it happen. Let this inhib fall, because there is no way they're contesting this. The absolute power on Rawr right now is insane. Nezumi, he does not care. He is going to sit there and face tank that Kindred. Kindred all dropping down though, and the Jarvan in a bit of a pick. Lee is going to oh my god, Nezumi with another insane hook, completely denying that as you'll walk into the base. Poppy with a good ult there, but not hitting the Azir, the target that you needed to hit. And there we go. That's going to be the Nexus Tower falling, and quite possibly the game here. Duck Solo is alive, going to see if he can do what he can. Viper Fang managing to pick up Shizaru. Blued it, finding himself getting really low, but no, managing to pick up the kill. Duck Solo transferring that there, but Bang Bus Driver